This is Future Talk.
Future Talk.
Future Talk with Saleh and Hani Balkis.
Happy Tuesday, everyone, and good afternoon. Hope you're all having a blessed day and enjoying this brand new week that we're all kind of pushing through this week. You're listening to Future Talk right here on Pulse 95. This is the one and only place where we bring you the latest on what is happening in the tech world, in the UAE, and all around the world. Today's tech news is actually pretty interesting because we're talking all about outer space, but kind of not necessarily to outer space. We're trying to replicate the life on Mars right here in the UAE.
Yes, because we're going to let you meet the Emiratis who face 8 months of isolation. And that is because they want to replicate a Mars trip.
Yes, indeed. Coming up on today's show as well, we're talking all about Apple and how they're actually defending their iCloud scanning. They said that they're going to be relying on multiple child safety groups so that they can address all the privacy fears. And let me tell you, honey, this has been receiving a lot of backlash on social media and in the news in general.
Yes, and I would believe so. Now, also, ladies and gentlemen, if you're tired from the heat, well, a new UAE cloud seeding test that was done in Texas does show promising results, and we're going to be getting into that in just a few.
In the world of apps, lots is happening as well as we discuss the final update that a lot of people have been waiting for. WhatsApp is finally allowing you to shift your chat backup in history from an Android device to an iPhone and from an iPhone to an Android device so easily.
Yes, and ladies and gentlemen, we're still not done talking about Android just yet because a beta Android accessibility feature does use facial expressions to control your phone. So let's say, for example, if you raise your eyebrows, you might just switch apps. If you give your phone a kiss, you could probably screenshot the screen. Let us know your guys' thoughts, 4215, do it at Slots or on Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. Taking a short break, but when we come back,
we're talking all about the Emiratis who are replicating the live on Mars.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Bits and bytes do connect our world. Ladies and gentlemen, we do know the UAE is very big on space. And, in the past 2 years now, we've done a lot. I mean, the achievements that if I would go on, I would take probably most of the segment. But we have breaking news and very exciting news. And we're going to be talking about the 2 Emirati men who will face 8 months of isolation. And that will be done to replicate a Mars trip. Now, the UAE has announced that 2 Emiratis, Abdullah Hammadi and Saleh Ameri, will participate in a space research program that will require 8 months of near isolation. And obviously, that will be to replicate the long journey of Mars.
Can I just say they deserve a round of applause? Because to live 8 months in near isolation, I mean, we could barely handle...
Yeah.
About how long was the lockdown? 3 months? Not even.
4 for me.
Was it?
Yeah, because I did my surgery.
Oh, yes. So 3 to 4 months was honestly too much, and with that we were even able to go. Not bad, yeah?
It wasn't that bad.
If you go back, I'll hear you whining about how you're so bored and done with quarantine. But for the longest time, a lot of people were so annoyed by it. We were just so ready to get back to our normal lives. So for these Emiratis to be able to embark on this journey, just to be able to kind of see what it's like to prepare to go to Mars, that's something that is worthy of us kind of appreciating them for. Now, only one of them will be spending 8 months living with an international crew of 6 people inside Moscow's NEK Center in Moscow. The other would basically be kind of like what we see with backup astronauts. He would be a backup for this astronaut to be. This project is known as Cyrus 2021, and it's actually going to be measuring the impact that space travel has on our bodies physically, but also psychologically.
Yes, and we do know that, it takes a lot of willpower and, self-control going up and spending so much time alone with yourself. Now, there's a lot of physical and there's not as much physical as there is mental, well-being and, control when you're up there. Because let me tell you, it's going to take a big toll on your mental health. And we do know that after a delay, which was caused by COVID-19 pandemic, the experiment is rescheduled to begin in November. So in about 2 or 3 months.
Yep.
And, I'm really excited to see. And, the experiment will actually help scientists learn more about the human physiology and psychology during isolation. Now, Omnia, there's always that meme on Instagram where, researchers are going to pay you $100,000 to stay in your bed for like a month.
Yes.
Yeah, because, you think it's a meme, but, people are actually being paid to do that because, they want to learn more about the human body, about, sitting in one area at one time.
True.
And laying down for long periods of time. Now, these two astronauts will also face several challenges during a lengthy space voyage, including spending time away from family and, working as a team. And there's also health risks from radiation.
Absolutely. And we've constantly heard about the impact that space travel has had on astronauts. I think it's, from what I've read, their bones structure kind of changes. The weight of the bone even decreases. They have different blood pressure issues, heart issues when they return back from space travel, especially if that journey was...
The elevation, I believe.
Yeah, and the impact of gravity on your body. So there are a lot of risks that these astronauts kind of sign up for whenever they go to travel in space. What's interesting about this is we've always heard that the UAE is preparing to build a settlement on the red planet Mars, by the year 2117. So this is one step closer to kind of figuring out how our human bodies would deal with such a change. The UAE has also announced different plans to work with partners in exploring possibilities of sending Emiratis to the moon, which I think is actually going to be the next step. We've seen different rovers that are currently being built to be sent to the moon, so I'm excited to see Emiratis on the moon as well.
Yes, I do believe that, having a settlement on the moon is nearer or closer than having a settlement on Mars. And obviously, because the year 2117, I'll probably be in my grave by that time. And, 4215 Duat Salat or on Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. Would you like to go to Mars? Would you like to live on Mars? To be quite exact, I wouldn't.
I honestly sometimes would. It feels nice to get away from all humans for quite a while.
Well, there's got to be a settlement on Mars, so there's got to be humans there too.
You know what's interesting though? Both Emiratis who are embarking on this journey don't necessarily have heavy experience in, let's say, STEM sciences, or maybe a bit in STEM, but they didn't study outer space in specific. So when we're talking about Saleh Al-Ameri, he's actually born in Abu Dhabi and he has 6 years of experience in mechanical engineering. He is currently working with ADNOC and he decided to kind of embark on a different journey after becoming a certified skydiver and a master scuba diver. So he kind of wanted to explore his passion in outer space, and he was inspired by different astronauts, one of them being Chris Hadfield. When it comes to Abdullah Al-Hammadi, he is actually born in Sharjah. He's born in Khurfakan, and he holds a bachelor degree also in mechanical engineering from Abu Dhabi University, but he has had a huge passion for space ever since he was young, and he's always wanted to explore the different galaxies, planets, and stars. His role models are Hazza Al-Mansouri, which kind of explains why he is taking behind his footsteps and deciding to go on this very tough journey with his backup as well. Let us know what are your thoughts, and just like Hani mentioned, would you like to go to live on Mars one day? I would, Hani wouldn't. Our text lines are open for 215 Duat Salat, or send into our DMs at Pulse95 Radio.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Apple loves its privacy. Let's just say that. Their brand new tagline is use Apple, use iPhones, because it's all about privacy. But the newest updates that they have announced and that they have launched don't necessarily go by that new tagline, if I may say so myself. Recently, we've talked about them introducing iCloud scanning so that they can help kind of prevent and protect younger children from harassment, from abuse, from violence, you name it. But this requires them to basically scan our iCloud backups for any photos that may resemble child violence that are related to that topic, which caused a lot of people to kind of honestly erupt. A lot of people were angry, saying that Apple had no right to scan our own personal photos, even if it meant protecting the lives of those innocent children.
Yeah, Apple did later come out with a statement saying, hey, you guys misunderstood us. You guys misunderstood what we're coming to do. Now, the company Apple did release a new paper delving into the safeguards, and it does hope it will actually increase user trust in this initiative. Now, that actually does include a rule to only flag images found in multiple child safety databases with different government affiliations, which is theoretically stopping one country from adding a non-CSAM content to the system. Now, this is where it gets deeper, Omnia, because the number one thing a lot of Americans don't want, and a lot of people around the world don't want, they don't want the government to be snooping around their phone.
True.
Right? And, Apple's saying that they will be, having databases with different government affiliations, thus, a big no-no for the public. Now, we do know Apple's upcoming iOS and iPad iOS releases will automatically match the US-based iCloud Photos accounts, which, are against known CSAM from a list of images that have been compiled. Now, the thing is, Omnia, right? When we're talking about this, the thing is, first of all, this will only apply to, US iCloud accounts.
True.
Right? And second of all, look, I'm on the border when it comes to this topic. So we do know that, child safety is a very big priority, and it is 100%. We have to take care of our children. Child abuse is not okay. But where do we differentiate from invading a person's privacy, right? And, protecting children? Now let's say me, for example, right? Or not, let's say specifically me. I don't want to make it too personal. Let's say any person, random person, right? They don't do anything. They have, personal photos on their phone or whatever. And you want an FBI agent or a government agent snooping through your phone because, a picture of blood was flagged, right?
True.
Maybe it's something personal. Maybe you're going through a health condition and they flag and they say, hey, we saw a picture of something with something, right? You want to explain about that? No, I don't want to explain about that. That's something personal, right? So I don't believe that, Apple has the right to do so. And, it's very bad PR for Apple because just like Omni was saying, Apple is saying, hey, our new slogan is, Apple is privacy.
Yeah,
privacy is Apple, protect your privacy. And now, every time we want to open a new app, hey, would you like to select all photos? Select current photos. Does that really make a difference now, Apple, since, you're giving all our photos away anyways?
I mean, their new slogan is privacy that's iPhone.
Yeah, privacy that's... I'm not going to say it.
And it kind of denies everything that they're doing because, okay, the way they came out saying it's basically like whatever the government in the US kind of goes ahead and hashes or considers as child abuse, those are the only photos that Apple would basically flag as considering child abuse and may go ahead and cause the FBI to contact you asking you about what photos do you have on your phone. But then at the same time, just like you mentioned, Hani, this kind of causes a lot of question marks. What's going to happen to our privacy? What's going to happen to our freedom to save and take photos on our phones? Sometimes, your child may be hurt, and let's say a mother is taking a photo of
a nosebleed.
A nosebleed or an injury of her son to send to her husband.
Or even daughter, right?
True.
Like, hey, my daughter has, I don't want to get into it because, it's too personal. But, today is scanning iCloud photos. Tomorrow is scanning your phone calls. After tomorrow will be, hey, we're listening into your FaceTime video calls.
True.
Just in case, you're talking about random thing. Again.
Child abuse. What if you're talking about abusing your child?
These things happen, and I don't condone these actions. Again,
I feel like there are other ways to fight it.
There are other ways to fight it. I mean, that's like saying, Omnia, we do suspect that a million people have drugs, right? But we're going to,
scan every phone.
Go through everyone's house, We're going to raid everyone's house just in case you don't have drugs, right? Even when it goes to the matter of, drugs, for example, in the United States, you need a warrant to enter a person's home.
Yeah.
Right? The police, the government needs a warrant to enter a person's home in the United States.
You can't just enter it.
Right. And now Apple is saying, hey, you know what? We might suspect you might have it. So we're going to go through all your pictures. You know what that's going to cause, Omnia? No one's going to put their photos on iCloud.
No one may purchase even iPhones.
Exactly. And you know what? If people want to use iPhone, they're going to be putting it on their actual hard drive.
True.
And you know what, Omnia? People are going to start buying the bigger capacity iPhones because they're putting all their pictures on the hard drive. So let's say
iCloud,
256 gigs, right, is going to be eaten up alive. I already have like 60K of photos anyways. Right?
Let's not get to the topic of how many photos you have.
But that's the thing I'm talking about because,
and a lot of people purchase extra iCloud backup. I mean,
Apple is very sneaky on you.
Yeah.
You know, they do tactics just so they can push you to something else.
Let us know what are your thoughts, and if you have the same privacy fears that we'd have, that everyone in the world has had ever since they announced this brand new feature. Coming up on today's show, we're going to be talking about rain. Man, do I miss winter right here in the UAE. The UAE is currently testing out a cloud seeding technique in Texas in the US, and we're going to be sharing all those details with you in just a few moments.
Check this out. Check this out. Pulse 95.
Would you catch me if I'm falling, right? And
Are we talking about you or the rain?
yeah, that's what I'm about to get into. Would you catch me if I'm falling? And if it's the rain that's fallen, I will be catching it with my tongue. You know, like in the movies.
Yes.
And they start doing like that.
I thought you
when
do
it's-
that with snow.
Yeah, with snow as well. But, you know, for us, it's rain. Now, you know, a new UAE cloud seeding test that was done in Texas shows promising results. Now, you know, lately I feel like it's a little bit too hot for comfort, you know.
You think?
Maybe because last year, the hottest, you know, time was when we were in lockdown.
Yeah, true.
So we kind of really
Or we're
didn't.
still getting out of it slowly.
Yeah, we didn't really, you know, feel that heat per se. But, you know, thankfully there's no lockdown now, and we're feeling all the tingling of the heat, you know.
Yes.
You get in your car, you walk from point A to point B, and you're like drenched in sweat,
You're melting.
right? So, you know, the boss sees me every day. He's like, so you walked only from your car to the office and you look like that? I'm like, dude, it's hot.
It's very hot, but we've got some good news. We may just be getting rain sometime soon, hopefully. But the National Center of Meteorology right here in the UAE has carried out a series of flights over Texas because they're currently working with the U.S. state's local weather association to try and test out a new cloud seeding technology. They're going to be using nanomaterials, which are basically very tiny substances that are usually designed for a specific purposes. In the case of cloud seeding, these nanoparticles or nanomaterials are going to be replacing the traditional salt, dry ice, and other chemicals that were used in the past to kind of recreate what may call artificial rain. So it's going to be a very effective tool to generate rain from any existing clouds. I'm excited for it, even though sometimes I worry when cloud seeding is done, because I feel like when you mess with Mother Nature, things may just go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, 100% on you. When you mess with Mother Nature, things go wrong. And, you know, I do believe that it's done in a specific way that it won't kind of affect the environment. Now, we do know that sometimes people say, oh, it's because of global warming, it's because of that. I mean, we're always used to this hot climate.
But we've seen the impact of global warming more than ever.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm just saying, in general, we live in a hot climate.
Very dry climate.
And, you know, when added to that factor, it just gets, you know, boiling hot. Now, quick history lesson, cloud seeding was actually first experimented in the 1940s, believe it or not, by U.S. companies. And, you know, they used dry ice, and later salt was actually used on the clouds by aircrafts to increase the size of the clouds and make it more likely that they would produce rain and for longer. And, you know, actually, I do believe there are some cloud seeding being done already, like in the past week, because some areas of the UAE have been having very heavy rain.
Yes, indeed. And what's interesting about this new technology is that these nanomaterials would produce positive results in clouds over water, even when conventional cloud seeding technology would not give any effect. Now, we've seen that the Arabian Gulf is actually one of the driest regions in the world, which means that scientists and researchers typically would have to use large amounts of energy to desalinate the seawater for a variety of uses. Therefore, creating rain may actually give us more water with consuming less, while still consuming less energy. Let us know what are your thoughts, and if you live in any of the areas right here in the UAE that has been lucky enough to experience some rain. Our text lines are open for 4215. Dora Tissalat or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
The feature that a lot of people have been waiting for, especially those who want to switch from an Android to an iPhone. And I'm saying Android to an iPhone because I don't think a lot of people would switch to an Android after they've tried the life of using an iPhone. If you are one of those people, and you've been kind of on the edge because WhatsApp chats may not necessarily always transfer, and transferring them may be a hassle, WhatsApp has finally solved this issue. They've recently announced and launched a very easy way to allow you to switch your chat history across different operating systems.
Yes, now Facebook, which is owns WhatsApp, has announced a new feature that will allow users to take their WhatsApp chat history with them when they change mobile operating systems. Now, WhatsApp did say it will be introducing the ability to move the entire chat history of WhatsApp, and that does include voice notes, photos, and conversations. And it's really going to be seamlessly and securely if users do choose to switch, mobile operating systems. Now, it's been in, the talks for years now. A lot of people have been asking for it because, if you, let's say, buy a new phone and it's an Apple phone and you go to, move your chat from there to there, it's fine because there's a backup and it's all good. But now a lot of people are saying, but what if I want to move from Android to iPhone?
True.
Right? And, there was never really an option for that. But now WhatsApp has given it to us. So we might see an increase in, let's say, Android to Apple. And, Omnia, I might even say Android or Apple to Android.
How come?
Because, there's a lot of concerns going on with Apple right now.
Oh, yes, true. I forgot about that part. Now, this feature will be available to both users of Android and iOS platforms, which definitely means that people will be able to switch back and forth between both operating systems very seamlessly. They're going to be rolling out this feature on Androids initially, but the newest Galaxy smartphones that came out of Samsung will be the first to get it, and some of them have even actually gotten the beta version. So on the 11th of August, they announced that they were officially out on Samsung Galaxy phones. The rest of the phones will have to wait for a couple of weeks down the line. Now, to start, users will be able to take their WhatsApp history from iOS to an Android device, but soon enough, they'll be able to do the opposite, which is, it's justifiable because I think features are always easier to introduce on Android devices before iOS devices first.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I do believe that, at one point in time, a lot of people will derail from, keeping or prioritizing iPhones or iOS because, Android has a very big market, especially with the budget phones, and, Apple, they did come out with a budget phone or, an entry-level iPhone, but I didn't think that it did kind of pop off as much as it was intended to pop off or how much they speculated it to pop off. But now, again, I think, Omnia, to go back on your point, I believe that at one point in time, people or companies will be prioritizing Android a lot, not just iPhone. But, at the same time, a lot of people or companies do prioritize iPhone or Apple in general because of its user base and their premium buyers.
Yeah.
When you're an app creator, you want to get the people with the most money in the bank.
True.
Right? And, I'm not saying all iPhone users are rich. No, but I'm saying the majority of people who buy iPhones are people who want that premium line. And the majority of people who buy entry-level Android phones are budget friendly. They want to keep it to budget when we do know that iPhones are not budget friendly.
Absolutely. Let us know what are your thoughts. Our text lines are open for 215. Do it a lot or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. Coming up on today's show, we have lots in store for all of you. As we discuss Android once again, they're launching a new accessibility feature that may help you basically control your phone through your facial expressions. How does that work? Keep Pulse 95 locked to find out more about it.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
Pulse 95.
What's worth a click and download? Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about how to use your Android phone by kissing it. Yeah, you think I'm joking? Because, there's actually a beta Android accessibility feature that will let you use facial expressions to control your phone. And, you can, like, for example, raise your eyebrows, flip a page, wink at it, take a screenshot, blow a kiss, like, give it like a,
Fly kiss,
or, even just, make that kissy face. And it might even, open up your favorite app.
This is going to be an exciting update for those who have what many may call an expressive face. If you tend to show a lot of expressions on your face, this will be coming in handy for you because now they may bring you a little bit of wrinkles over time, but it may help you use your phone very easily. I like this feature because it will make commanding your phone become seamless. You may not even have to think about it. So facial expressions like looking left, looking right, just like you mentioned, Hani, raising your eyebrows, giving your phone a fly kiss, may just kind of give your phone an instruction to do a specific thing. So screenshots may start recognizing facial expressions, and this is going to hopefully limit the potential of accidental activations. So let's say you want to assign opening your mouth to tell your phone to do a specific thing. So let's say you raise your eyebrows and you want raising your eyebrows to cause your phone to open the camera app. You can go ahead and specify this on your accessibility feature on your Android device and it'll be immediately automated. You want to say, let's say, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what you would ask your phone to do for you. Maybe set alarms?
I think, for example, for daily use, let's say, you're on, let's say, for example, on a web page and you're reading something. When the eye looks down, it will scroll down. When the eye looks up, it will scroll up.
And I feel like Apple introduced this earlier, didn't they? On their Safari webpage. You used to look down and it would automatically do that for you, but then really?
I've never had that feature.
No way.
Yeah, I think if you used it, then it's there, but I've never used it.
I remember using it.
And I know, that a lot of people would love something like this, especially, if, let's say, for example, you have a disability of some sort, if you don't have full use of your thumbs, of your hands, not all of us have fully
Especially
functioning...
people of determination.
Yeah, not all of us have fully functioning fingers. Now, we do know the arrival of this new feature is alongside the latest Android 12 beta, and it does suggest it'll officially launch as part of the operating system update later this year. And again, I think that it's going to be compatible with Android 11, and a lot of developers are saying that, and it might not just be exclusive to Android 12.
What I like about this is it's also going to help you use your phone and command it when you're in, a public or a quieter environment. You don't want to make too much noise, so you just kind of signal to your phone what to do. Kind of like when you tell, let's say, a friend to be quiet or to, not do that. You just raise your eyebrows. You'll be able to do that with your phone nowadays.
Yeah, it's a great feature that a lot of people will find useful. For me, I would like to stay on the normal, thing to do, just because I feel like, when I'm on my phone a lot, I already automatically use facial expressions a lot. And, let's say, for example, you're taking a video of yourself and then you wink and then a screenshot happens. There's a lot of accidental mistakes that can happen.
Yeah.
We do know with iPhone, if you tap, you can make a gesture.
Worst
which is,
mistake ever.
You can tap the back of your phone and it will do a command. Some people have it as a screenshot, for example, and they're screenshotting everything, right? And some people have it as, for example, open the camera or open calls. My dad has it as open screenshot or take a screenshot, and he removed it later on because he said it was too annoying.
It is too annoying.
Because let's say, for example, you put it on your phone.
It immediately screenshots.
It'll screenshot. It has a horrible sound to it, like you're taking a picture. So, you'll be in a meeting and all of a sudden, right? You hear the sound of a camera like, hey, are you taking pictures? No. And then you have to
explain yourself
to the board of directors that you are not, taking pictures of secret company details.
Let us know what are your thoughts about this new accessibility feature and what would you assign your phone to do? What is one expression that you tend to do very often that you want your phone to kind of get the message when you do it? Personally, I think I want them to understand that if I raise my eyebrows, let's say open camera. Let us know what are yours. 4215 do it Salat or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. Future Talk is coming to an end. But you can catch us again tomorrow, same time, same place, from 2 to 3 p.m. only here on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of Future Talk, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.